Iyore stepped off the rickety bus, the dry heat of Benin City wrapping around her like a scorching cloak. The air smelled of roasted corn and diesel, a sharp reminder of home. Her clothes were worn, her hair unkempt, and her once bright eyes now shadowed with exhaustion. Years of struggle etched themselves into her weary face, but beneath the grime there remained a flicker of hope. Iyore had been born in Benin City, a place where culture thrived but poverty clawed at the heels of dreams. Determined to break free from the cycle of hardship, she had traveled to Europe through a grueling journey 7 years ago. Italy, Spain, and France had been her stations of toil, where she washed dishes, cleaned homes, and picked fruits in sprawling farms under the punishing sun. Her life was a relentless cycle of menial jobs, sleepless nights, and hunger. But all her suffering had been for a purpose. Home. Iyore had sent money back home religiously. Her family's calls were her only solace, and their words were always sweet. Her father spoke of the house they were building with the money she sent, a 2-story mansion painted white, with iron gates and tiled floors. Her siblings boasted of the growing garden, where palm trees swayed and flowers bloomed. Pictures arrived sporadically, each showing the progress of the house, brick by brick. "Iyore, the house is almost done," her mother would exclaim during their calls. "You will be proud when you return. We are building something great for you." But her brother, Osato, was the worst of all. A master manipulator, he would call Iyore with trembling urgency, claiming their mother was ill, her health failing. "Iyore, Mama needs medication. The hospital bills are piling up. If you love her, you'll send more money," he would plead. The guilt would break Hie's heart each time, and she would send whatever she could spare. Osato, however, had no intentions of saving money for their mother. He squandered it on womanizing, alcohol, and flashy clothes, parading around the city like a king. His friends praised him for his supposed wealth, unaware it was built on his sister's sweat and sacrifice. Iyore would end the calls with tears of joy in her eyes, the thought of her own house in Benin City spurring her on through Europe's harsh winters and sweltering summers. Then, everything fell apart. Iyore's papers expired, and with Europe tightening immigration policies, she found herself caught up in a sudden raid. Deported with nothing but the clothes on her back and a few crumpled euros, she arrived back in Benin City, a ghost of her former self. When she finally made it to her family's compound, there was no mansion waiting, no iron gates, no tiled floors, just the same decrepit, mud-walled house she had left behind years ago. Her mother's eyes widened in shock at her return, her siblings shuffled nervously, and her father couldn't meet her gaze. "What happened to the house?" Iyore's voice quivered, her chest tightening with dread.